Yo.
Hi.
All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the To Be Brutally Honest show presented by Backup Sports. We got the boys, Parker, sitting up there in his backwards hat, Peyton Schultz with poofy hair. Of course, me, the old Mig. And we got special guest, Dodger fan, Matt Cratch, down there in the bottom.
That's right.
How we doing, big fella?
Doing all right, man.
All right.
I mean, I'm sure you get the same answer from everybody, but just trying to survive quarantine.
Yeah, I mean, you probably grinded on the show if I had to guess, but, I mean, whatever.
Right on the show, playing some Warzone with the boys.
It's respectable. So we got a full slate of topics here today, mostly baseball. So that's why I'm kind of in charge today. So let's kick it off with topic number one, shall we? With rumors of a shortened season and a decision on the year coming soon, what are your thoughts on things such as an 80-game season, expanded rosters, the universal DH, and legitimacy
There we go.
of a potential title? We'll start with our guest. Give us your thoughts, provide your thoughts, cite your sources, all that good stuff.
So teams are definitely going to obviously have to have some extra arms. So roster expansions are going to come there. I wouldn't give it an exact number, but I'd say probably around 28 to almost 30 possibly. But yeah, they're going to have extra arms around, and they're going to have to be big league ready arms, which is why you're going to see teams with lots of depth like the Dodgers.
We're not even 30 seconds in.
Right.
True, but who you got? Bueller, Kershaw, Price, Wood, Stripling, Gonsolin, May. I keep going if you want. But yeah, teams with depth are going to be able to distance themselves. And as far as the DH goes, I don't dislike it, but a lot of NL teams don't carry guys who would fit into a role like that because obviously we've never seen a DH in the NL before. So it's going to be different. It seems like the Giants, who don't even have a perennial four-hitter, let alone a DH, like who's going to DH for them? Can't think of a guy off the top of my head.
Buster Posey.
But then you also,
No.
yeah, Buster Posey will probably DH. But then again, you look at teams like the Nationals who just added Eric Thames, who's probably going to excel in a position like the DH, being the hitter he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why a title wouldn't be legitimate. I mean, the season is short. Guys aren't going to be as weathered going into October, but everybody's playing the same amount of games, so it shouldn't really make a difference in that respect.
Yeah, that's some good thoughts, I guess. I don't know. We already had the homerism 2 minutes in. That's fine. Let's go with Parker.
So I mean, as I feel like I've voiced my opinion in terms of legitimacy a few times past couple weeks, but I just feel like 162 games is what's going to get us there. I mean, like if we played 80 games, I feel like the Dodgers would have a few titles by now. I mean, obviously, I don't know. It just seems like the forefront, like the front runner, 80 games into the season isn't always the World Series champ. Once you get 160 games in. So, I mean, now if they start maybe 80 to 100 games, something to watch. I'm going to be into it because it's baseball. I just don't think it's going to be a 100% legitimate title. So yeah. There's that. Exactly. What?
I mean, either way, it's going to be more legit than 2017 or 2018.
Oh, well, I mean,
whoa, right. Hey.
18 was legit. Dodgers were mismatched. I mean, they weren't going to win that series. But 2017, not legitimate whatsoever. Asterisk. Yeah. Expanded rosters, I don't know. I mean, yeah, pitchers, you're going to have more pitchers, but in terms of hitters, I mean, 80 games, they'll be just fine. I'll go with 25 to 30 guys. We'll say, I mean, Dodgers aren't going to have a problem in terms of depth. But, I mean, there are teams out there. We'll go with I'll say the Marlins or the Tigers just off the top. Yeah. I mean, they're not deep. Universal DH, I'm not a big fan of. I mean, there's just something about Hyun-Jin Ryu and putting a ball in the stands that I just can't get enough of. But obviously that's not going to be a factor. Bartolo Colon, I mean, that guy's at bats are like, I mean, especially when he was playing the Padres when he hit a home run, that was probably one of the most entertaining at bats throughout the whole game. But yeah, legitimacy, I don't know.
I'd like to interrupt. We're getting some hate in the chat right now. I don't know if you guys are seeing this.
All right.
Well, Chris Silverman's a clown. He's 4 feet tall, so anything he says holds no water. I mean, he shouldn't even be driving. He shouldn't even be driving on the Twitch stream. And then
I pulled it up on my phone.
Freshly Baked 300. I don't know who that is. I'm assuming it's Mason Cratch. I don't know.
No, that's Connor Slutterdahl.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Connor Slutterdahl? Okay, I respect Connor Slutterdahl. Guy's a legend. But I don't like the language going on down there, though. I just call it. Bring that up. We'll listen to Peyton's thoughts.
Well, I'll start with the DH. I thought Cratch kind of nailed the point about just how it's going to benefit some teams, but again, as a Dodger fan, you kind of don't mind it at all. But I mean, the construction part, nobody could have predicted a global pandemic in that sense. So that's kind of going to be a tough break for certain NL teams, but that's not really preventable at this point. In terms of an 82-game season, no problem with it. Expanded rosters, I think just how top-heavy baseball is in general right now. I mean, you look at like the playoff picture right now, I think there's only about maybe 7 or 8 teams where you can realistically say that team can win the World Series. So the sense of expanded rosters for these poor teams, that's their fault for being bad organizations in the first place, and they're going to get exposed by that. So I feel like those top teams that are playing to win right now, those expanded rosters, it's only going to make the rich richer in that sense. So I have no problem with that. I don't believe in really taking like some teams in baseball have been doing, Baltimore Orioles, that clown franchise. And then a legit title. There's nothing that says that. I definitely think it's legit. I mean, you play to win the game. So you don't play for fun. So if the Dodgers or the Red Sox or the Yankees, whoever wins a World Series, I'm not going to be saying it's not worthy. I mean, you look at lockout teams in the NBA, LeBron James, Miami Heat team, they won a title, and nobody says if that's legit or not just because they played a shortened amount of regular season games. So I definitely have no problem saying if a season occurs that the title will be legit. So, yeah, I'm all in on that.
All right, I guess that just leaves me. I'll start with the DH. I think it actually benefits the Dodgers a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you. Because of your outfield depth, you can have whoever you want to DH back out there. That's a benefit to you guys, because nobody is as deep as the Dodgers. I'll admit it, especially in outfield talent. The universal DH, I said that, and then expanded rosters. I mean, for like the lesser teams, I kind of disagree with you, Peyton, because it gives them a chance to see major league pitching and major league talent versus having them down in AAA where it's a different talent level. So at least you get to a sense of like your prospects.
Experience.
Yeah. You
okay,
say,
I get that.
Where can this guy be in 3 years or 2 years based on those couple months. And then the 80-game season, it's half a year, I guess. But like Parker said, sometimes the best team halfway through the year isn't the best team that ends up overall. 2018, that's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I know that the Dodgers can be the best team in baseball through 80 games. What's really going to satisfy is 162 games staying number one.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen.
The Nationals.
Right.
Yeah, it's true. A year ago right now, they were like 15 games under 500.
I remember that. That was a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that pretty much covers it. What do we got in the chat here? Mookie Betts is Dodger. Thanks for telling me something I already know. Chris
That's
Silverman.
right.
I mean, he's a Dodger for 80 games.
You buffoon. Yeah,
He'll
another
retire
thing.
Dodger.
No, he
That's
won't.
right. Oh, well, I don't know
Okay,
why
well.
there's this fake sense that Mookie Betts is going to be a 1-year rental for the Dodgers.
I just feel like
He'll run
I
out of
don't-
money.
I mean,
What do you mean you're going to run out of money?
No,
There's
they're
no
not.
cap.
Okay, you got to pay Walker Buehler.
it's true. He's going to make a lot.
You're paying
Okay.
Kershaw a lot. You're gonna have to pay
Kershaw
Cody
will be
Bellinger.
expired by the time you have to pay Bellinger or Bueller,
Correct.
and
Yeah,
they'll
you have to
resign
pay-
Kershaw.
You have to pay Bellinger, and then you have to pay Mookie Betts if you want to keep Mookie Betts. So that's a lot of money that you're giving up, and everybody else is gonna suck. You also have Corey Seager, that everybody in Dodger Nation thinks he's a good shortstop when he's not. So there's that, and you're gonna have to give him a bunch of money if you think he's good, which he's not. And then you have frickin' Will Smith, whoever he is, that
He
guy.
might-
He won't be. No,
Maybe
Gabriel
he'll
Ruiz
be good.
coming up.
Maybe he'll be good. And then you
So-
have Dustin May and Tony Gonsolin you got to pay too. So, and then Kenley Jansen's
Not
just
for
a
6
hole.
years.
It's just a hole in the back of the end of the bullpen.
So you think that just because he's going to leave the Dodgers, there's a chance he would go back to the Red Sox, who just traded him because of cap problems? Well, that's the notion out there, is that he would go back to the Red Sox, like Parker said in the past. And that's just ridiculous.
It's
not
just wishful thinking. It's like when Dodger fans think that Tony Gonsolin should, or not Tony Gonsolin, what's his face? Mike Clevenger should go to the Dodgers. It's wishful thinking. It's not going to happen, but we wish it. You guys wish it will happen.
Could have happened, but I mean, didn't because we got Mookie.
I mean, I didn't think we were getting Mookie Betts, and then that happened. But
Correct. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
we were supposed to sign Cole, Rendon, ended up with Mookie.
not bad.
I'm
take
fine with
it,
it.
yeah.
And then Corona happened.
I mean, if he's there for a year, then he can go wherever he wants, and then get paid there.
I mean, LA is probably one of the best places you could play, honestly. But I feel like he feels at home in Boston. I mean, just over the past few years, he's there.
What has that been said? He didn't want to re-sign.
Because they didn't want to pay him.
That's an organization fault then. And if you're Mookie Betts and the organization didn't want to pay you, what makes you want to go back there?
Green Monster.
You that was on you, Parker. I'm not helping you out on that one.
Back me up here, Connor. No.
No, I can't because it makes no sense. Let's roll into topic number 2. Hypothetical. Over the course of a potentially shortened season, who are the 3 current managers in the league that you trust the most to get your team over the hump? We'll start with Peyton Schultz.
Number 1, I'm sure this will be on Connor's list too. Just comes to mind, Terry Francona. Postseason experience, 2 World Series. Just one of those managers. I don't really have a lot of statistical background to back up that argument, but he's been there in clutch moments over the years. I'll go with him as one. My other one, Joe Madden. In a shortened season, since you're going to have to probably get creative with who's playing and stuff like that, he happens to be probably one of the most, I guess, creative managers in recent time. You look at the Rays, not that he invented these shifts or platoons, but he kind of normalized them within the major leagues. So I feel like if something's going to get wacky over the course of a season with expanded rosters and stuff like that, Joe Madden's kind of my guy. And then just for a little dig, I'll take Aaron Boone as number 3. Back-to-back 100-win seasons. Both years have overcome major injuries, developed young players along the way. He's quickly proved to be one of the better managers in the league and, manager of the 27-time world champions.
Okay. I mean, there's savages in the box, but okay.
They are.
It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard on a baseball field. I've heard some bad stuff, but it was up there for number 1. Stupidest
There's
thing I've ever heard.
savages up there.
It's stupid. Matt Cratch, who we got? I know it's not Dave Roberts.
Yeah, definitely not Dave Roberts. I wouldn't even put him in the top 10. Number 3, though, we got Bob Melvin of the A's. Dude came into Oakland. I don't want to say completely turned around that team, but pretty much. I mean, he's had winning season after winning season with a team that just on paper is not close to a playoff team until as of these last 2 years. The A's win with him as a manager. Last season, they came out hot the first 2 months. They were ahead in that division when it thought that the Astros would just run away with it, like they did end up doing. But yeah, the A's win under him. They've never had a legitimate ace pitcher, but they find ways to win ball games. Number 2, got to go with Dave Martinez, the Nationals. Something about coming from 19-31, winning a wild card game. I mean, knocking out the Dodgers, beating the cheaters in the World Series, 4 games at home while they were cheating. Whether they say they weren't or not, watch the game. You can really hear the banging. And they're, like I said, they're going to have the DH depth there with Eric Thames. So that's going to give them another advantage. But number 1, I'd have to go with Kevin Cash of the Rays. He's like the father of the father of the opener.
I hate the opener. Have you ever been to an opener?
90. It works. Who cares if it's boring to watch? It works. They don't care what you think. They just care if they win the game.
It's the worst.
They won 96 games last year in the division with the Yankees and the Red Sox. I mean, and then 2 clown organizations. Get to play the Orioles 19 times. Should be freaking 19 wins.
Like it's not warranted, and the Blue Jays aren't bad either.
Blue Jays aren't that bad. Orioles are terrible.
But you can have a day, and then the Orioles can win.
Yeah, but I mean, what the Yankees went 18-1 against the Orioles last year, something crazy like that. 18 free wins.
Did they win the World Series? No. So why?
No, they didn't. The Nationals did. Dave Martinez went number 2.
Parker.
Okay, so yeah, I didn't really have a whole lot of time to compile a list, so we're just gonna, go for it here. I like Dave Martinez. I mean, last year obviously they kind of played catch up and it worked. But if they start the season about like how they were playing like halfway through the season last year, they're probably gonna take it. I mean, then let's see. Terry Francona, I mean, that guy's got a ton of experience under his belt, knows how to play the game. Obviously, with a shortened season, the way you manage is going to change a little bit. But, I mean, survival of the fittest, it's all about adaptation. Adaptation, I don't know. But then, I mean, this is going to be a little controversial, but Dave Roberts, we know the Dodgers can be great through 80 games. I mean, it's not homerism. It's like
how easy could it be to be the Dodgers manager, though? Here, Clayton, go out every 5 days. Hey,
like
Walker, go out every.
Yeah, Steve Kerr is the greatest NBA coach of all time. Look at his team.
Okay, well,
I could coach the Warriors and they would win. They probably still would have won all those championships.
Well, my point here is that it's 80 games. He knows how to be an absolute savage through 80 games. Dodgers, I mean, the past 2-3 years, they're the best team in the NL, maybe the major leagues through 80 games. So, I mean, if it's 80 to 100 game season, I feel like it's not going to be a cakewalk, but the Dodgers are going to do very well.
All right. Well, I guess I'll take the wings on this one.
Take the wings?
Yeah. My number 3 is going to be Craig Counsell up there in Milwaukee.
Oh, God.
Number 4.
Over the past couple of years, he's really embraced kind of like Kevin Cash, but he's been more traditional. I don't know, that one game against the Dodgers where he had Wade Miley go out there for a third of an inning and then come out, it was ridiculous. But, I mean, whatever. He wanted to do whatever. So he's pretty much turned that franchise around, I would say, from Ron Ranicky and then going into him. They added Christian Yelich, obviously, but, Ryan Braun's been there the whole time, and now he's turned into a better player. Yes, he's still the MVP for Matt Kemp, but we're not going to talk about that. Number 2.
Things just get stolen from the Dodgers. It happens.
Get a better safe. I mean, pretty much. Joe Madden, I think he is probably top 3 managers in baseball, and he, like he said, he gets really creative, and he knows how to run an organization from the top on down to the bottom, pitching staff, all that good stuff. Knows how to do it. And then I had Kevin Cash on my list, but number 1, got to go with my guy, free Alex Cora. Did nothing wrong.
He's not a current manager.
Yeah, he is. He's just suspended.
How's he going to push What
Fine.
was the
Ron
question?
Renicky then. I'll go Ron Renicky.
The question's about this season.
Shut the hell up. I'll go Ron Renicky. There you go. Go Sox. Interim manager, Ron Renicky, right there. And Chris Silverman's talking about the Twins. Paul Molitor is an idiot. So
He's not their manager. It's Rocco. Rocco, what's his name? Balde. I don't know how to say his last name.
Valdez.
No, it starts with a B.
Valdez.
Baldovino. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, great. This is going to be a great topic. I'll go first on this one so we can get the homerism all grouped together.
Baldelli.
If a season does happen, what are your thoughts on the overall outlook for the Dodgers in 2020?
It's great.
Hey, well, glad you could add your little comment there. Overall, it depends on – Peyton has said it for years. If we get in a playoff series, Clayton Kershaw has to win 2 games at home or has to win both of his starts, which that's not the overall season, but I'm just going off that. And then they just got to stay healthy is the number one thing. This is their season to lose. Like, you have no excuses now. Zero. Like, maybe you have a case for Kenley Jansen, but that's it because Joe Kelly can be back there anyway. So, I mean, Scotty G's a big joke. Yeah, exactly. But this is your season to lose, and if you don't win, it's an automatic failure, and you should just be disgraced, and you should trade everybody and figure it out, regroup, because if you can't win with this team, it's just embarrassing. So, I mean, if they're healthy. If they're not healthy, you have an excuse. But if they're healthy and you lose, sorry about it. Go, move on. We got 9 minutes left on this one. Okay, I'm ready. They're not going 80-0, too, Chris. That's just ridiculous. Okay, Matt Cratch.
79-1.
79-1.
I don't see how the outlook could be negative. I mean, you add Mookie Betts, arguably top 2 players in the league. I mean, you have the pitching depth that you can only dream of, starting pitching depth. I mean, Buehler, Kershaw, Price, Wood, May, Gonsolin, Stripling. I can keep going if you'd like.
Don't forget about
Justin Turner's coming off his best power year. Oh, Urias, thank you. You're right. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Jock, 36 homers, all of them off right-handed pitching.
Hero.
Max Muncy, back-to-back years with 35 home runs. His versatility. Guys like Chris Taylor, Kike Hernandez with the versatility. And your favorite player ever, Corey Seager, played in 134 games and led the National League in doubles.
And he just started breaking
What do you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean? A shrug. What does that mean?
Doubles.
Extra base hits,
Okay.
slugging percentage, extra base hits, RBIs. That's what comes with doubles.
I'm fully aware of what comes with doubles, but who cares? Did he lead in extra base hits? No.
Doubles.
He
Not
led in
only
doubles,
doubles.
like he just said.
No, so doubles, like, cool.
And Edwin Rios going to be at DH. 31 homers in the minors, almost 100 RBIs. The guy's built to be a DH. He'll end up in the American League if we don't see a permanent.
That's true.
What
DH
about AJ Pollock or Chris Taylor?
He'll
Okay,
trip
AJ
over the
Pollock.
step in the first game and break his something. So
Okay, what about Matt Beatty?
Matt Beatty will be a pinch hit bat. Yeah,
He's a
I
hero.
love him, but he is
Not
a
a
hero.
DH.
I was at his walk-off game. It was beautiful, but he's not. Maybe. But Edwin Rios was born to be a DH. So.
All right, Parker?
Okay, so I'd just like to say you bringing up AJ Pollock was absolute blasphemy. I mean, that guy, he doesn't even own a bat. I mean, watching him in the NLDS was just a joke. 0 for 13 with 11 strikeouts. I mean, I hold strong with a lot of the Dodgers, but AJ Pollock is not on my good side. But in terms of outlook, it is very good. I mean, you can't really go wrong this year. I mean, it's their year to lose, as I've said before, as you said. I mean, they have two of the top three players in baseball, arguably. I say Alex Bregman being one of the top players in baseball is kind of illegitimate as of right now. He's got to prove himself. But, I mean, yeah, depth pitching-wise, outfield-wise, infield-wise, if you factor some of the outfielders in to the infield, which you can. Not really catching-wise, but that's one position. But pretty much they're going to be the best team in the NL. The Nationals are going to put up a fight, most likely. But other than that, I don't really see a whole lot of people in their way. I mean, I would love to see a Dodgers-Astros World Series if it's a World Series. I don't know what the playoff outlook is going to be, like if it's going to be 5-7-7 again, or if it's going to be like different structures. I feel like aside last year, Dodgers do pretty well in 5-game series. But I mean, you know, we got to get 4 wins in a couple series. So we'll see about that. But in terms of the regular season, they're great.
Oh, they're a regular season team.
I mean,
that's just a fact.
History says so.
You guys kind of nailed all the points about like the regular season stuff. So I'll kind of just look at the playoffs. So I do think one thing for sure the Dodgers kind of need, they're talking about like alternative playoff formats and stuff with the team potentially getting a bye. And I just feel like a bye in general. I mean, is there any downside to that whatsoever? If you're the Dodgers, it just avoids playing another team. If they get that, just put themselves in a good position to just plow through the NL already. I like their chances. The two teams that concern me a little bit in terms of the NL, the Nationals, kind of like you guys built upon, just only because of their starting depth. But the Mets too a little bit. I believe Syndergaard is out for the year. Am I correct on that? Tommy John?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't he throwing? I thought I saw a video of him throwing in the desert.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. But the Mets, if there's one team that I think their starting pitching rivals the Nationals and the Dodgers throughout baseball, then I would say it's the Mets. Jacob deGrom, best pitcher in baseball, and then Marcus Stroman, isn't he like an animal abuser?
well, he cut his dog's ears off, so
Yeah.
He cut his dog's ears off.
Not a friend of the show.
Not a fan.
well, his dog.
He blocked me on Twitter, actually.
What
He has me
happened?
blocked on Twitter and Instagram.
How'd you do that?
So Connor, his dog
Yeah.
is the show dog, right?
Dog's a show dog.
Apparently, cutting their ears off looks like fancier. But yeah.
Okay.
Cut his ears off.
Yeah, we'll screw him. We don't want him on the show ever. But yeah, so those are the two that I would say worry me at least a little bit with the Dodgers. I feel like with the Astros, with them losing Cole, they would have the advantage. The Yankees worry me a little bit just because of how loaded that lineup is.
Outside cutters.
Yeah. A lot of the Yankee matchup, though, I feel like it would depend where the games are being played. Are fans back at home or back in attendance? Yeah, there's a lot of different factors that I think would come into play in a matchup between those two teams. But, yeah, that's my outlook on the 2020 Dodgers.
Well, it's an interesting take. I mean, I think we all came in agreement that it's their season to lose. Like, there's no excuses at this point.
As long as it hit
minus injuries. I mean, Dodger fans, if you guys lose in the playoffs, I'm sure Dave Roberts will get blamed for something, because that usually happens. It always goes to the manager, which is fair at sometimes. Like this year, I think he kind of blew it. 2018, I don't think he deserved all the hate he got. I mean, how do you know Eduardo Nunez? Is that his name? I don't even remember. Eduardo Nunez takes Alex Wood deep on a 3-2 slider down and in. Like, there's no way you can know that. So
Who knew that Nate Eovaldi would have gone 8 straight innings or 8?
Well,
question mark.
Yeah, it was 8.
Well, I think he gets criticism for that World Series for taking out Rich Hill.
Yeah, when you put in what's his face,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where a lot of that comes from.
and Mitchie Two-Backs took him deep. Yes, that happened. Yeah, so we got a minute left, so we'll take a break and then we'll jump on another one. So I'll send a new code and everything. Cool.
Sounds good.
And we're back with topic number 4. This one's a little tricky. You really had to think about this one. Credit to the topic chooser. Fill in the blanks for each of the following Dodgers. Best player, key new addition, could surprise, takes a leap, prove it year, and most excited to watch. We'll start with Matt Cratch. He's the guest. What do you got for each?
So best, Mookie Betts, but Cody's getting there. I mean, 3 years, 1 MVP, Rookie of the Year. But yeah, you can't not say Mookie Betts in my opinion. Could surprise. I'm hoping David Price. Obviously, he's had a great career. He's been a little injury plagued as of late, but I think he's got something to prove that he's not done. I think takes a leap. I'll go with Walker Buehler. I mean, I know he's already very elite, but I think he hops into. I don't know about an 80-game season, but at least in 2021, I'm thinking he hops into the Cy Young conversation more so. I mean, almost or over 200 Ks last season, multiple games with over 15 strikeouts. I mean, guy's got nowhere to go, but he's going to get better and better. Prove it season, Corey Seager, just because he goes from Rookie of the Year kind of being like the new face to a couple injury-plagued seasons to a not-so-meeting expectation seasons. I think he also is going to want to prove something because if he keeps getting hurt, keeps not playing to expectations, he's not going to get paid. Certainly not going to get paid by the Dodgers, or he's going to get dealt in a trade. And then most excited, I mean, you cannot say that the tandem of Betts and Bellinger in the outfield. I mean, how often in our lifetime are you able to see 2 MVPs playing side by side in the same lineup? Two of the top 5 players in the league, 2 of the best hitters. Like, it's unbelievable. And I think that the NL MVP race is going to be held in Los Angeles. I think they'll be able to feed off of each other.
Okay. Christian Yelich just died.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, we'll see how his knee holds.
I mean, no, I'm not saying Christian. I mean, the race is usually between 3 guys. I mean, it's between 3 last year: Acuna, Yelich, and Bellinger. But I'm not gonna. I mean, it's gonna be those 2 are gonna be up there. Betts or Bellinger. But yeah, I don't think we've seen a better Dodgers lineup, and certainly not in my lifetime. So I can't wait. I was so excited for this season, and if 80 games is what we get, then give it to me.
Well, let me stop you right there. Any lineup that has Rafael Furcal in it is automatically elite. Okay? Rafael Furcal and Andre Ethier. Are you kidding me?
That's right.
And Blake
JD
DeWitt.
Brad Penny on the mound.
Yeah.
What and yeah, exactly. So
Broxton.
and Chad Billingsley.
Yep.
So you're missing out.
Jonathan Broxton.
Exactly. There you go. So that team was better than this team, guaranteed. Parker.
Okay, we're just gonna go in order right now. Best player, gonna have to go with Cody Bellinger. I mean, I'd ride with Mookie Betts, but I think it was like last Monday. Connor brought up a pretty good point that 2017 is 2018 his MVP season. He was like clear-cut MVP, but last year he kind of took a step back a little bit. And I mean, if we're talking currently, I say that Cody Bellinger has the upper hand. Key new addition, Mookie Betts. Could surprise. Let's see. Oh yeah, David Price. I'm gonna take that one from you. I mean, he's getting up there in age. He definitely doesn't have the velocity he used to have. But I mean, this could be a resurgence for him. I mean, you're in LA, baby. Hollywood. And I don't know. He's good. So, takes a leap. We're gonna go with a big old sleeper pick here, Austin Barnes. I mean,
He blocked me on Instagram too.
seriously, man,
Yeah,
well, that's tough. But
I'm ruthless.
I'm not by any means an Austin Barnes fan, but that guy proved that when he really, really puts his mind to it, the first 2 or 3 games after he practices a lot,
He can hit a solid
Good.
250.
yeah. So I mean,
220.
I just feel like with the right work ethic, I'm no one to take advice from. I had a 42 ERA, but with the right work ethic, I feel like he could be all right. Prove it year. We're stuck between Cody Bellinger and saying the 2 weeks that Will Smith came up wasn't a fluke. But I feel like Will Smith is going to be a good catcher. Maybe not this year. Maybe he's not going to be great this year, but obviously he's going to take the time to develop and he's going to be great. I feel like this year might be a big stepping stone though, because he's got a lot of this time to just get his mind right and I guess adjust. And I feel like instead of a prove it year, just a big development year. Prove it year, a lot of people are going to be looking at Cody Bellinger, seeing if last year was a fluke. So I will say him. Most excited to watch Walker Buehler by a long shot. That guy's so good. I love him. So yeah.
All right. We got it. That was like a 8-minute thing, but all right. Peyton Schultz.
So I'll try not to say 2 for any category. I'll just stick with 1 player for each. So best player, I'll go with Mookie Betts. I would be contradicting my point from a week ago if I didn't say Bellinger over Betts by a little bit when we did the start bench cut. So take him for that. Key new addition, since I already have Betts there, I'll say David Price. Matt had a great point. I think that Price has just proven over his career when healthy, he's effective. Putting him in an NL ballpark, if games are played at Dodger Stadium, that's a big if. Could be a huge thing for him. He's never really, he has never played on an NL team for a full season. So I feel like that could be kind of a huge addition. And then could surprise Will Smith. Parker kind of said that a little bit ago. Ever since he got into the majors, there's a chance that what's his name? Matt, what's the catcher in the minors? What's his name?
Heber Ruiz.
Yeah, there's a chance that he could compete with Smith if there's these expanded rosters and stuff. But I'll take the risk on could surprise. Smith showed a lot of potential.
Heber took a little bit of a step back, so I don't know if he's going to be ready for big league.
I'll just say I liked Smith's at-bats in the postseason. There wasn't a whole lot of hope from most Dodgers in the playoffs, so I'll take the risk of having him as my could surprise. Takes a leap, I'll go with Gavin Lux. I was kind of surprised none of you guys had him so far. Who knows? Maybe he'll be another Rookie of the Year candidate. I believe he was Minor League Player of the Year last year. So, yeah, I think he could have a big season if he starts at second. Prove it year, Julio Urias. I feel like he's going to be put in the starting rotation. He was hyped ever since he's been in their system.
Really
This has got to be
zone, huh?
What?
Really beats it up. Strike zone.
You stand up now?
Did you read the article or you just?
Yeah, seriously, Connor.
Go ahead.
Anyways, if he gets a starting role back, I feel like this is the year he's got to prove it. He's got to have at least a nice year as their probably number 4 in that rotation. And then most excited to watch over the course of my life, it's usually been Clayton Kershaw, but most exciting player on their roster right now is Cody Bellinger. So I'll go with him as my my most excited to watch.
Can I add something real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Prove it year, Blake Trinan.
Okay.
Reliever of the year, right, in 2018, and lost his job. Had a lot of bad outings, but ended up losing his job. DFA'd. I mean, all within one season after an injury.
Mm-hmm.
Dude needs to prove it because dude wants to get paid, and he went from being a really elite closer to nothing. So, and if Kenley continues to be meh, then he might even see a possible of a closing role, but we'll see there.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut in here. So
Oh
this
my
Scotty
God.
G character brought up the Kenley prove it year. I'm gonna go with that. I was thinking like
That's
prove
good.
it year in terms of, I was thinking that it was like, oh, last year was a fluke. I got to prove that I'm good. Kenley Jansen's really got to prove himself. I mean, obviously, a couple years ago, he was a free agent. I think the Marlins were like scouting him, and he decided to stay in LA, collect his money, and he has not been great since. So, I mean, I'm not saying he's on the brink of being DFA'd or being sent down to the minors, but I mean, if he keeps going the way he is, he's definitely going to lose his closing spot, and he might be on the brink of a trade. So, yeah, I'll change my prove it year to that.
Shout out to the chat for that. That was a good mention.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Okay. Just going to go. Best player, I got to go with my guy, Mookie Betts. I just think I got to stay true to my guy. Key new addition. This Gratterall character supposed to go to the Red Sox, but we didn't want him. Okay, whatever. I think he could be big for you guys if he figures it out, strike zone wise. I think he has struggles with that in the minor leagues. He's walked a lot of people. Could surprise Kike Hernandez.
Go.
Yes, sir.
Never know.
Guy's a legend.
An 80-game season, maybe.
There you go, Kike Hernandez. Takes a leap. Chris Taylor, because that guy stinks. So maybe he could. I mean, he could go from 220 to 250. That's a leap. So maybe he could figure it out.
I think he hit 260 last year. So
260 to 280. He maybe that's a leap.
There's a huge difference between
220
220 and
pretty good
260.
Whatever. Prove it year. Clayton Kershaw. You're old. Try not to get lit up. Maybe we can work on the fastball velocity a little bit. Maybe make it a little bit faster than the slider. I don't know. Maybe we can work on that.
Still had a 3.03 ERA. Washed.
Prove it year. It's a prove it year. Okay? I don't think he has it. Prove it to me.
He did last year.
Shut the hell up. Most excited to watch?
It's not in the playoffs.
Yeah.
There it is. Prove it year. Playoffs. That solidifies your Hall of Fame ballot if you win in the playoffs. Kershaw.
So you're saying Kershaw's not a Hall of Famer?
It makes it better.
He's already a Hall of Famer.
He's already.
I'm not saying that he's not. I'm just saying.
Okay, I thought you were. My bad.
But it does wipe out pretty much all the arguments against him. I mean, if he gets into the Hall of Fame just on this career, people are going to say, oh, he doesn't have success in the playoffs. Why is he a Hall of Famer? If he has success in the playoffs, then bam, stop talking.
Yeah, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He could stop playing right now, and he'd be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yep.
I don't know about that. There's a lot of good
MVP
guys.
He's 100% first ballot Hall of Famer right now.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other guys that are here?
5-time ERA title.
With the other guys that are that have retired that haven't gone to Hall of Fame, I don't think so. You think he's better than Kurt Schilling? Not a chance.
Yes.
Okay, most watch. This one was tricky for me. I was switching back and forth. What'd you say?
No, go for it, man.
Oh, it's AJ Pollock. I'm really excited for that guy. Can't wait to see him get out there, play left field every day, get a couple knocks, really solidify his place in Dodger fandom, and maybe he can. I mean, maybe he has a breakout year, and then all you Dodger fans are gonna jump right back on. You're like, oh, AJ Pollock, I hate him. And then you'll be right back on him like he's your best friend. Like he's the best player.
He's going to have to be MVP.
Because that's what Dodger fans do. You put people in the dumps and then you bring them right back up. It's a true thing. It's a true thing.
Red Sox do that with Adam Jones?
That was unnecessary, and he wasn't on our team. So we stick to our guys, even when they go away. Honorable mention Joe Kelly. Shout out Scotty G. topic number 5, The Last Dance, episode 7 and 8 came out last night. I liked it. I got home from work. Oh, by the way, Mother's Day, Chili's, the worst. So busy, ridiculous. Got hammered last night.
Worse
Anyway.
than Cinco de Mayo?
Yes, way worse. And there was more people on. The worst. So I got home, relaxed, watched that. So what are our thoughts on it? Peyton Schultz?
One, I'll start with, kind of the most known thing is him laughing at Gary Payton at the end, which, I thought was kind of funny. But let's be real. I'll start with that 95-96 team. That's the 72 win team. Just flat out dominant. That's their first year with Rodman. I thought that was one of the highlights of the show. I'll point out the Space Jam court that they built with the players showing up at Warner Brothers. That was just badass with all of them showing up there and him just picking apart their games for the future. I thought that was awesome. And then his rules about talking with opponents, about you only can trust someone or whatever when they're talking before or when they're down instead of when they're in front. I just thought that was pretty Michael Jordan-like. And the whole episodes, both 7 and 8, continuing with the rest of them, were just great per usual and should be a good finale next weekend.
Matt Cratch, you watch it all?
No, haven't.
It's a poor. It's coming out on
it is.
Netflix.
It is. Yeah.
You can jump on that. It's really good. I think you'll like it. Parker?
Yeah,
I actually watched a half an hour of episode 8. Great production. I've watched half an hour of it and I strongly recommend it. It's on, Michael Jordan's unreal. Just the thought of being able to flip a switch and just be in the zone just kind of baffles me, because as a baseball player, I was a joke. I fall ball, summer ball, I was pretty all right. Winter ball, not bad.
Fall ball and winter ball are the same.
Different season though. In the spring though, boy oh boy, gosh, I was not great. So essentially, just to because I was watching when I think it was at the start of the finals when Michael Jordan saw the coach of the
Coach Carl?
Sure. When he was out to eat, and then the guy didn't come up to him to say hi. And he just said, "All right." And then that flipped the switch for him. And then that obviously wasn't the only thing that flipped the switch for him, but that flipped the switch for him. And he was just in the zone for the entire series. And when I used to play with emotions, your boy went downhill. But just to be able to have that motivation and to be able to control yourself despite how what's in your head, I guess, is just wild. I don't know. And then Gary Payton, my dad went to Oregon State. I think Gary Payton got there in 86. My dad graduated in 85, but he still 84, 85. I don't know. He still lived in Oregon though, so we'd drive down and watch him. And he said all the opposing fans would shake their car keys, saying that people are buying cars for him. He's accepting bribes and stuff like that. But yeah, Gary Payton's pretty solid, and see Michael Jordan just laugh at that guy. That was kind of funny. Yeah, go for it, Connor.
Okay. Episode 7 I thought was really interesting with with obviously the baseball stuff. Tito at the beginning was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Big Tito guy. But absolutely hilarious. He's just not a lot of people come up to AA, but he just competed in whatever. My name's Terry. I'll be your manager. Just says that casually to Michael Jordan. Was hilarious. And he hit 202, which isn't bad, or whatever it was. Not bad. And then when he came back and he played with number 45, I didn't know the reasoning behind that.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was just because that was his baseball number, but that was because his dad had never seen him play, or had only watched him play in 23 instead of 45. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then episode 8, when they talked about the new regime coming in, and he just obliterated people at practice. That was also hilarious to me. That poor guy who was talking to the entire practice, just yelling at him.
Scott Burrell.
Yeah, just screaming at him. Scott, what are you doing? You're terrible. Just no regard.
Mhm.
Hilarious. And then poor Steve Kerr got punched in the face. I wish they had video of that because that was funny to listen to. But yeah, I think it should be good to watch the final 2 episodes. It's shown a lot of key things and a lot of things that not a lot of people knew, and it'll be good to watch. So
Yep.
all right, a couple weeks ago, we talked. It came out on the Twitter, the Mount Rushmore of LA sports. We talked about it on here, but we originated from Matt Cratch's tweet, so we're talking about Matt Cratch about his Mount Rushmore. Maybe he's changed it, maybe he hasn't. So let's talk to him.
So there's an obvious one, Kobe. Obviously, I mean 5 rings in the argument for the GOAT from a lot of people. 4th all-time in points. The worldwide sports icon. Clayton Kershaw, 3-time Cy Young, MVP, pitching Triple Crown, 5-time ERA title, first ballot Hall of Famer. Number 3 for me is going to be Vince Scully, Hall of Fame broadcaster, 67 years, another LA legend. 4 probably be Magic Johnson. Also 5 rings up there, all-time assists, another LA icon. But I'm going to add a 5th because we're going to get this guy to carve one in for me. And this is based only on one moment, and that's Kirk Gibson, only because of his 1988 walk-off, which could be arguably the most iconic sports moment in LA history.
True.
Yeah, we just get a guy to chisel him in there.
Yeah, exactly. Gutson Borglum was the original carver, so maybe we could call him up.
Did you research the name? Did you research?
Yeah, I did. I don't know, Gutson Borglum. Don't know how to say it, but that's
pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you. Peyton Schultz.
So Cratch nailed the first one. Obviously, Kobe Bryant, number 1, 5-time champ, 20 years with the Lakers. I believe it's the second longest NBA run with one player on one team behind Tim Duncan. I think he was 21 years, if I'm correct. And then, yeah, I mean, there's nothing that hasn't been said by everyone already about Kobe. He has been the Lakers for the past 2 decades until LeBron arrived, and he's meant more to the Lakers probably than any other player. Number 2, I'll go with Magic Johnson. Also a 5-time champion, Showtime era, transformed basketball from almost an afterthought in terms of sports context into one of the premier sports in the whole, I mean, arguably the globe at that point. Yeah, Magic, you look at him being an Dodger owner until he had to step down for a little bit because of the Laker role he had as a GM. So you look at someone that is LA sports, and I feel like that's Magic. Number 3, again, Cratch nailed it. He stole mine about Vin, but 67 years with the team. You got to think about Vin with the Dodgers from moving to Brooklyn to Los Angeles at the time. Television wasn't a huge thing, so a lot of fans, how they were introduced to the Dodgers was from the radio and stuff like that. So they were hearing Vince Scully for all this time. So if there's one Dodger figure I wanted to focus on, I felt like it would be him. I thought Koufax could have been mentioned. Lasorda could have been mentioned. Kershaw could have been mentioned. But I'll go with Vin as my one for the Dodgers. And then it was tough for the 4th spot, but I'll go with Wizard of Westwood, John Wooden, greatest college basketball coach of all time. I do mean the greatest college basketball coach of all time over Coach K.
Mine has entered the chat.
Yeah, 620 career wins at UCLA, 10 titles. There's awards named after him, Pyramid of Success, Wooden's the GOAT. So Those are my 4.
Parker Drummond.
So I'm changing mine up a little bit from last time, not drastically, but a wee bit. Since we are including college sports, I will get to that in a little bit. But essentially, LA, I mean, it's mostly known for the Dodgers and the Lakers. So I'm just not even going to look at football because it's not even worth looking at. So we'll go Kobe, number 1, obviously. Got to be there. I'm not going to name a bunch of stats because I don't know them, but whatever you guys said, sure. Then Sandy Koufax, I mean, he's not the greatest pitcher of all time, but, I mean, he's great. So, yeah, he's definitely up there. So, I mean, between Kershaw and Sandy Koufax has to be Sandy Koufax. But then we'll go Vince Scully. I mean, what Peyton said, people didn't really – people knew who the Dodgers were. People didn't really know the Dodgers. So Vince Scully really created a solid following for the Dodgers in LA, I feel, with that nice little voice of his. And then my 4th one, college sports, Jackie Robinson. I mean, he changed not just baseball, but like sports completely. Mm-hmm. And 4-year varsity or four sport varsity player at UCLA. I think it was baseball, football, track and field, and I think basketball, right? ?
I don't know about basketball. You got the other 3 though.
I thought it was 4 sports, maybe not. Either way, pretty solid. So the guy, I feel like that guy's face has got to be on there.
All right. So for me, I'm gonna go. Kobe Bryant is up there for me. Obviously, what he did for basketball. Magic Johnson, number 2. Pretty much brought basketball back to life in the 80s with him and Bird. It was dying, and he revolutionized the game and brought it back to life. Now, it gets tricky here in my 2 because, I mean, you guys stole Vin, so if he's on your Mount Rushmore, I mean, that's fine. Which I agree with. He deserves to be up there. John Wooden, the same thing. So I'll go a different route. I think it's going to be weird. You're going to hate me for it. Rod Carew is on mine. Now, before we say anything, he was on the California Angels, yes, but
right.
Primarily it was in the Los Angeles greater area, and he's on there for me.
Orange
I think,
County?
Otherwise known as Orange County, yeah.
right there. But what are they called now?
Anaheim.
The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. So Los Angeles is in there.
Dodgers.
Thank you, though.
It's in there, but they're not there.
But it's in the name, so I count. Okay, so that's number 3. I think Rod Carew is up there. And then you're not going to like, I was going to say Nolan Ryan, but I'll change it. No, I'll go Sandy Koufax for the last one. Or, wait, no, sorry, Fernando Valenzuela. Los Angeles sports.
Okay, that's a good one.
Instead of Sandy Koufax, because what he did for the Latino community in Los Angeles, becoming a pitcher for them, winning Rookie of the Year, all that good stuff, transcended baseball. A lot of people became Dodger fans when he was there.
I wouldn't change mine at all, but I think like another honorable mention, Jonathan Quick, 2 titles with the Kings. Again, he's not close to those top 4, but 2 titles with the Kings.
Or Wayne Gretzky.
Dominant at the time. He's been there forever. That's the king I would choose. And then former Raider, USC running back Marcus Allen's got to be up there too. Heisman winner, like I said. And if there's one football player, I was trying to think between the Rams, I guess now Chargers, and the Raiders at the time. I guess Marcus Allen's probably the one I would choose.
Really?
Who else do you go with?
Dickerson?
Guy busy.
Who'd you say, Connor?
Dickerson?
Well, I'm only going with Marcus Allen because he played it for the Raiders in Los Angeles and USC.
Okay, I was about to say. I mean, he did go down there.
You can mention the Jews.
Glove didn't.
Yeah.
Can't convict. All right.
Gloves don't fit.
We got 9 minutes left, so we'll do closing remarks. Matt Cratch, thank you for coming on. Hope you had a good time. I know we did. It was a good show.
Thank you.
We'll edit it. It'll be out tomorrow at some point. Parker, what do you got for us?
Thanks for having me.
No problem.
I don't have anything. I don't know.
Okay. Peyton Schultz.
NBA draft combine, they might do it virtually somehow. I don't know if by virtually if they mean they're going to be recording themselves. They're going to do it over 2K. I don't know, but yeah, they might do workouts virtually. So LaMelo Ball featured New York Knicks, I guess.
If you give me a virtual tryout, I automatically, if I pay the right amount, I could have a 48-inch vertical.
Yeah, Parker, you can't dunk though.
It's gonna be a
Can't
live
dunk,
stream.
but you could edit a video. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
It's gonna be
a live stream.
Camera angles.
But you still can't put the ball in the
You can't hit the.
you have to put the ball in the thing for it to work.
I'm pretty sure they just have you jump and hit the little swingy things.
The
What's it called?
swingy things.
The tabs. I don't
The
know.
vertical jump measurer. I
The
think would
vertical
be
jump sticks.
I don't think that's the name either.
better than the spinny thingy.
The spinny thing. That's funny.
Matt Cratch, any final thoughts?
Yeah, just a little. Our own Southern California Senior Valley native Colby Parkinson getting drafted by the Seahawks. How cool is that, dude?
Mm-hmm.
Went to middle school with that guy.
I went to his house
Played
like twice.
baseball with that guy. Yeah, man, pretty cool, man. I'm not a huge football guy, but definitely going to be a Seahawks bandwagon now. But yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. It's a lot of fun.
Not sports related. I got blocked on Twitter the other day. It's whatever. I don't want to get into it, but
He blocked you on? Who blocked you?
don't ask because I'll go off.
Well, you want to get into it, clearly.
I'm just
We
saying.
got 6 minutes.
Got blocked on Twitter. I was on a mission to civilize, and the lady.
Oh, yeah.
You don't remember this?
Oh,
Yeah. It did not go well, and then yeah, that's all I got. So
I got Stroman blocked me and Austin Barnes blocked me.
That's respect on both.
Austin Barnes, he posted a video on his Instagram of him doing high jumps, and it was probably about like 2.5 feet off the ground. And I said, "Oh, that's as high as you can jump, no wonder you bat 180." And he blocked me.
oh man, that's brutal.
The catcher's got to have more leg strength to be able to vert higher than that. No,
No,
You're right. Yeah.
it's just his framing ability is too good. So gotta keep him on the squad.
Now with robo umpires, it's not going to matter. Zion Williamson got a lawsuit today. That's another thing I'll add. So
Yeah, saw that. He didn't do anything wrong. It's not his fault.
no, it's not. But
What was it?
he's getting sued by his former marketing company for requesting or from receiving bribes from Duke to go to Duke. He's alleged. Yeah, I got to make sure I put alleged in there because I don't know. We'll get blocked or something.
Innocent
yelled
until
at
proven
once.
guilty.
Yeah, I got yelled at once. All right, the To Be Brutally Honest show. That's a wrap. Backup Sports.
All right.
Guys, thanks for having me.
Yes,
Have a good
sir.
one.
Stay safe, stay healthy.
Yes, sir.